It's time to finish the transfer window here at Malaga in the Glory Hunter. We have big aspirations and ambitions of a domestic double this season. And if something happens in Europe, then be great to win a European trophy again this year. We have already done that, of course, in this Glory Hunter. But we, as of yet, after 2 years at Malaga, have not won either La Liga or the Copa del Rey. Understandably, because when we took over 2 years ago, they'd just come up from the league below and needed a complete rebuild. But we are in the processes of doing that. And we've got some money this year. We spent some of it already. The majority of it actually on free agents. And thanks to your feedback on yesterday's episode, we're going to be making a couple more permanent signings. And we've made some decisions with what to do with the starting 11. You guys would prefer that Bulat gets the nod at centre mid ahead of Banabe because he's more defensively astute. That makes sense. I agree there. Well done. And then with regards to Chilwell, you say give him a go. See if I actually enjoy him or if Reguilon would be better for played games. But obviously the higher rated players would be better for simulated games, which is where Tilly will probably see the majority of his football this season, which is perfectly fine. That's kind of why we got him, wasn't it? With regards to the striker role, Roberto is going to have the opportunity to hold his own this season until January. Czech is being changed to a cam, as you request as well. So, we're looking then to change Tanganga to centre-back. That will make him about 84 rated, probably. He'll then take over from Mbete in the starting lineup, and I'm happy then that the defence is set as we want it until at least January, where we may look to replace Pantea if he's not good enough. I've had another idea as well in between yesterday's episode and this one, and that is to improve on Pelistri. We've made the decision, as per your feedback as well, to sell Calderon, meaning I'm going to be a little bit light in the winger area. But rather than sign someone that is late 70s, early 80s like Brun Larsen or someone that's 81-ish, why not just improve on Pelistri? He's got pace and dribbling, but as you can see from his stats on the right-hand side, doesn't necessarily excel in the shooting or the passing. So if we sign someone that is better than Pelistri, as good as he's been to get us to this stage, starting to get the feeling that maybe we need someone else to take us to the next stage, to that title-challenging Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid challenging stage of potentially winning multiple trophies this season. So that is the plan. We had a couple of names on the shortlist that we might go for as well. Now, Roberto will get the nod at striker until at least January. However, I have someone I want to sign. You guys agree as well. And I'm going to look to get him in now, just in case someone else looks to come and try and sign him before we get the opportunity to potentially need to sign him in January. If Roberto holds his own, Roberto can have the starting lineup all season. But Alexander Isak, 29 years of age, 85 rated, similarly to Chilwell, can go in for simulated games because of the higher rating, etc. And I think he's one that I want to buy right now. We have about 110-ish million pounds to spend, so this is going to be probably about half of our current budget. That doesn't bother me at all. He's clearly a quality player. So we're going to go and try and sign Alexander Isak from Sassuolo. He's moved there, of course, from Newcastle in real life in this save. They reckon I can get him for about 50-ish. But that is brave, lads. That is very, very brave. No, you're not having Roberto. I will, however, give you like £52 million straight up if you might like to accept that. 55 leaves me about the same remaining. I'll try and get him a little bit cheaper if I can. A couple of million here, a couple of million there. You never know, might come in handy, might be important to save for January. £60,000 a week is what he's currently on at Sassuolo. Now, wages have been really weird for us recently, whereas players have come in and asked for not much at all wage-wise. Nice that Alexander Isak obviously has a game face as well, which is superb. Like, why is an 85 rated player that's currently on 60 grand a week asking to halve his wages? So I'm going to actually take a screenshot of that because I can feed that back to the devs. It's really weird at the minute. I don't know whether there's been an update that's affected it or something else. I'm not sure. I'll remove the bonus and I'd rather give him just 40 grand a week if he'll take it, which he hopefully will. Indeed he will. They'll settle the deal. Alexander Isak is in, but only as a bench player. He will probably play the Champions League games, and Roberto Fernandes will play the La Liga games And Castellanos, who we brought in as well as a free agent, will probably play the Copa del Rey games, or just as and when we might get an injury or something of that nature. Now, the winger role, I did have Zalewski on my shortlist, but I'm leaning, because of Zalewski's lack of physicality, I'm leaning, and lack of finishing, towards Matthias Sule. 4-star, 4-star. He's not as fast as Zalewski, but he's got decent physical stats. Is he higher agility-wise? Much higher agility-wise. Strength-wise, there's not much in it, really. But he's got better agility, better jumping, and also he's better technically in the key areas. Zalewski had like 81 short passing. Sule has 86. His finishing is significantly better. His ball control is insane. And his long shots at 87 are very, very good as well. So Sule is the go-to for me in that position. He's probably going to cost me about what I've got left. But looking to sell Calderon will free up some more money for January when we get there. So I am going to try and sign Matthias Sule from Cercle Bruges right at the very beginning of the episode as well. And that will be our business basically set moving forward, unless, of course, something drastic happens in the remainder of the window, which, with it being as it has been of late in this save, absolutely could happen. Really? You want £74,600? No, mate! I can't afford anything more than 57, apparently, so this might actually be out of my financial reach until Calderon has been sold. And I think it will be. So I'm going to have to end negotiations there. He is my preference. He's who I want to go for. But I'll have to wait until we've got a little bit more money from the sale of Calderon, which I'm perfectly happy to do. We've got the pre-season friendlies on their way now. Actually, one thing I need to do is put a certain Alexander Isak on the bench, which is what we'll do there. And Brun Larsen is a player that I'm also going to look to sell because we're bringing in, or hope to bring in, that young winger. So we'll transfer this team as well. So actually we've got 2 players to sell to raise funds. So the Calderon money could go towards the right back if we need it in January. And the Brun Larsen money should just top up what we've already got to go and get Matthias this window. That is the current plan. Number of players out on loan. We've only got 2 games actually, I think, in the month of August. Indeed, we do currently. So Betis, side that we could have signed Zalewski from, and Real Sociedad. 2 capable sides, actually. Real Betis were decent last year, as were Sociedad, but we have aspirations of being better than they were last year, and better than we were last year. So, without any further ado, let's go and see if we can get ourselves... Oh, my former team beat me. Florian Wirtz getting the goal. Let's see if we can do a little bit more business in the window and start the league season very well indeed. Baran loaned out. Calderon transfer offer. Arsenal are interested for 33.1 million. My chief executive reckons I could get up to 43 for him, so I will try and negotiate this quite aggressively with Arsenal. They are a side that should have the money to be able to afford a bit of a hike from there. And they have done. They bid 33. They'll accept my first negotiation of 42. That'll do very nicely indeed. And Milan Czech's position change is done. So we can change him to a cam. He stays at 85 for now and is peaked. But that's not a problem, because hopefully he's going to be pretty damn good anyway at 85. And it's an improvement on what we had for sure. Nana C is lower rated than Calderon, obviously. At 79 was 80. The injury knocked him back to Calderon's 82. But Nana C was so much more effective for me in-game that it makes sense to go with the lower-rated player that has more of an impact than it does to stick with Calderon just because he's 82 rated. So that's the decision we made, the decision we came to together between myself and the comment section yourselves. Alexander Isak gets a goal in the friendly against Udinese, and we shall head now towards the... Oh, actually, are the European groups drawn yet? I don't think they will be, will they? No, they haven't been drawn yet, but it won't be long before the European groups are drawn. Just need to get through those playoff rounds. If there's nothing else to do transfer-wise, nothing of any real note anyway, then I will see you in the game against Real Betis. Alvaro Calderon gone to Arsenal for £42.1 million. We get an A for that. Thank you very much. So we got a lot of the youngsters now starting to get some loan bids in, which is going to, quite thankfully, thin the squad out a little bit because it absolutely needs it. Aitor Navas is also going to have a loan to buy, change to a loan, and hopefully he'll go out too, because we currently have about 30 or maybe nearly 40 players. 39 players in the squad. Now, I don't need 39 players, so that's why a number of them are going out on loan. But a number of them are youth players that do need to go out on loan because they're not going to have the opportunity to impact the play if they stay. They're just either not good enough or there are too many men ahead of them in the pecking order. But everybody's on their way out that we want to go out. So far, everybody that we want to come in has come in apart from the winger. But hopefully, it won't be long until he does. Ooh, Tanganga's position change as well. 82 rated right back, 84 rated centre back. You love to see it. Let's get him up a little bit more. Superb, son. Okay, sorry, Luke and Mbete, but Japhet Tanganga, as good as you have been, Mbete, Tanganga is going to be better. We are wanting, of course, to move Brun Larsen on, put Pellistri on that bench spot, and go and sign Matthias Sule. Now I have the money from the previous deal. We can now hopefully go and get Matthias Sule again, because I should have the money to pay for it. Weirdly, he's got a release clause of 70.1, but they were asking for 74.6. Cheeky bastards, asking for more than his release clause. Can you believe it? I'll just offer them a straight 60, and hopefully they'll just say yes to that. Say yes to that. 61.1. Well, that's come down a long way from where they were. I will edit the sell-on clause to a bit higher and offer them a little bit less money. And they'll accept it. Allez. Good. He's currently on £29,500 a week over in Belgium. Now, you'd imagine he'd want a wage rise coming to La Liga as a crucial player, but our experience at the moment with wages is really odd. We'll disregard the release clause. You want 140. I'm quite happy with that. Someone pays 140 million for you, I'll just go and get Bellini. Wage-wise, I'll offer him just 30, which is what he's on. And they'll just accept it. Wages are really strange, aren't they? It wasn't like that at the beginning of the cycle, I don't think. So it's potentially something that's happened since a patch has come in. I'm not sure. I'll feed it back to the devs and we'll see what they say. But for now, we've gotten some good players in on some really good deals. So we'll be very, very happy with that moving forward. Pellistri will drop to the bench, unfortunately for him, but you have to be ruthless if you want to get to the next level, and that is our aspiration, to get to the next level. So Matthias Sule is in on the right, Cech is in at cam, Bulat is in midfield, Tanganga at centre-back, and Chilwell at left-back with Garrido in goal. That is now a potentially title-winning side. It is certainly a title-challenging side. So let's go and start that challenge by beating Betis. Right, Pellistri's release clause has been met. So it's just as well we replaced him, isn't it, already? Otherwise, I'd now be panicking. It looks like Pellistri's on his way out then. But we do have Nanasi to come back in to the fold. And Cech can do a job out wide as well. I'm sure Cech can do a job out wide as well. He's got 75 crossing. He absolutely could. So I'm not actually, despite losing what was one of our starting players last year, that bothered about Pellistri's release clause being met. I think we'll be fine. Bulat has now grown to 84, which is superb. Already seeing some growth out of our new central midfield signing. You love to see it. Captaincy. I've given the captaincy to Roberto, actually. I think he's probably earned it, to be honest, hasn't he? So we'll give him the captaincy. I think with 31 goals last season in the league, Roberto has earned it. So we'll do a quick press conference to boost everybody's mood and morale ahead of this new championship chasing season. But with so many new players in the club, we are absolutely going to have to prove ourselves. He's a man on a mission, Matthias Sule, not going to let the opportunity go. Now he's moved from a relatively small club to, well, arguably not a big club, but certainly a high-achieving club as of last season. Let's go and ensure that we're high achievers again, shall we? A number of debuts on the way, and hopefully those that have stayed in the lineup from last season will prove that they are worthy of keeping that starting spot. Starting the season at La Rosaleda, then at home against Real Betis. Aaron Ramsdale in goal for them. Kiana Hoover at right back. Barbosa, Aidu and Aaron Hickey is their back four. Arnana and Michut in the middle for them, with Plata on the right and Zalewski on the left as ever. Jesper Lindström at cam, and they've signed Sasha Kalajic to go on up top now. Higher rated than Umar Sadiq or Raul de Tomas, the two strikers that have started for them most recently against us. And debuts then for Cech, Sule, Bulat, Tanganga and Chilwell and Garrido. Only Roberto, Elise, Chavez, Vitic and Pantea hold their spots from the previous season. Such is life when you want to achieve big things and take a club to the next level. You can't rebuild with players that are already peaked and will only grow by another 1 rating. We need to make some improvements. We've made those improvements. Now we just need to hope that they bloody well work. Hickey. Oh, it's loose though. Pantea will recover that. Might only be 80 rated Pantea. Oh, I just saw Anana pressing there and panicked for a little bit. Might only be 80 rated Pantea, but you guys saw how solid he was last season. Elise will find Chile, who finds Cech, who turns well and get it back up wide to Ben Chilwell. Now, all 3 of the players sat behind Roberto now are left-footed, which is not something I usually have. I don't go out of my way to sign right-footers, but in general. Oh! Well, that's why Roberto's keeping the starting spot in La Liga, isn't it? Start as you left off. Pick up from last season and keep it going. 31 goals last year, 1 and counting for the Golden Boot winner and new captain. It had to be him, really, didn't it? It just did. And it was a very good goal as well. Challenging against the defender. Pinpoint header, top corner. Roberto continually the best lower rated striker I think we've ever used on career mode. Pantea. Bulat. The press from Sasha Kalajic. Betis have gone all gegenpress on us. They weren't doing that last season. Here's Hickey. Nice tackle by Pantea and then steps away from the defender as well. Into Cech. And Chavez will use the left back first. Elise is their central. Roberto's here too, with hopefully runners around him. Looking for Chile. It's a nice idea. It nearly reaches him. They've given the ball away. Cech will finish it. Betis pressing, but forcing their own errors rather than ones from ourselves. 25 minutes in, it's Malaga 2, Betis 0. Cech gets a goal on debut. And already, even in these early stages, we look the real deal. He's a player I could have looked at for the right-hand side, to be fair. Gonzalo Plata has been very good against us in played games as well. Zalewski just intrigued me because he's a name I hadn't heard of before. Gonzalo Plata with a cheeky ball roll sets up his teammate Lindström, who at cam is doing the business that so far Sasha Kalajic hasn't been able to do. Betis back in the game at 2-1. Good movement from Plata, just as I was saying he was a decent player. He goes and proves it. It's 2-1. And, well, maybe we're not the finished deal just yet. To Elise. Roberto, see the runners. Chile loves to get forward, doesn't he? Enjoying that so far. He's not rapid, Chilwell, but he's certainly good enough to get forward. Roberto has a 5-star week for him. He's just gotten... Ball's just gone away from him there, but... Little tug on the shirt, and we have the potential to score a free kick here. Bulat apparently has decent free kicks, so we'll give it to him. And we'll see if he can get us a goal to extend it back up to 2 again. Bulat from about 19 yards out. Draws a good save from Aaron Ramsdale, but no third goal for us yet. I got a bit lucky there because Roberto had overrun the ball, but evidently that heavy touch was brought on by the pressure, illegal pressure from the defender. Pantea in here. Chavez has gone down and stays down there. And he's going to have to come off. Well, that could change things then. If this is only a 2-month injury or so, we can deal with that. We have Banabe, etc. But if that's a 7-month injury, like Nana sees, then that might change our current transfer plans. Ernesto Chavez having to come off and hopefully won't be out for too long. We'll find out when we get back after this fixture. So let's now go and win this, and let's do it for him. Plata takes it off him. Oh, Kalajic, good save. No, you lucky boy! You lucky boy! Betis round out at 2-2. I got a fortuitous second. They've got a fortuitous second. Again, it's well worked by Plata on that right-hand side. And it's just rebounded off Vitic. There is nothing he can do there. Fallen straight to Sasha again. And he won't have an easier goal to score all season. He's off the mark at his new club. Debut goals for a couple of players. One on either side. Plata. Ball through the gap. Lindström. Out wide. Chilwell out to him. Can't get the ball off Keanu Hoover. And we're worried about this now. It's good footwork. Good block. It's going to kindly fall them again. Misut to Zalewski. Lovely 1, 2, 3. And Garrido with a brilliant stop. That's an unbelievable save. Reactionary stuff from them. Why the man that was on his own in the middle there played the extra pass, I couldn't tell you. I've now, or will be making, a couple of changes to try and give us the opportunity to go and get ourselves in front again in this game. And Lindström's onside and we'll win it for Betis. 79th minute. We trail. We were the comeback kings last season. Tried to step with Vitic there, but was played onside. One thing I have noticed, actually, is Chile's lack of pace. All 3 of their goals have come down that left-hand side. With Gonzalo Plata very heavily involved. Now, whether that is because Chilwell has been just done for pace on each occasion, I don't know. Whether it's because Chilwell perhaps has been a little bit too offensive with his positioning, I don't know. Perhaps we need more than just this one example to base an opinion from. But certainly it's an observation that can be made that everything that they've done positively in this game so far has come through Plata. Maybe Plata's just having an unbelievable game. But it is something I have noticed in the fixtures so far. Elise looking to get in behind. Keanu Hoover doesn't have the legs to keep up. But Ramsdale makes a very good stop. 3 minutes to go. From 2-0 up to 3-2 down. I think we might lose on opening day. I was very happy after half an hour. After 90 minutes. I mean, I'm still relatively happy that we've played well. Gotten unlucky with a couple of their goals. But certainly still work to be done. It's going to be game. It's going to be a defeat on opening day. Now then, Chavez, how long's he going to be out for? Because that could dictate what we do for the rest of the window entirely. Nieto loaned out. Pellistri sold. And Chavez is out for 7 months. So that is going to offer opportunities then for maybe Bernabe, but probably another new signing to come in. We're going to have to go and get a centre mid now. And that might kill Chavez's career, because I'm going to look to improve in that position now that I think I have the financial clout to do so. 86 million. We're going to go and improve in that position, meaning that maybe he won't get the opportunity to have that starting spot back. I think I'm going to go for Kefren Turam. That also offers up the opportunity to still potentially improve in that area as well, or for Turam to continue to go up in rating. So, and then maybe sell him on for something else later down the line. I'll offer about valuation and see what they want. Now, Chavez is out for 7 months. So this in itself is stupid, because there's no way that they would take someone that's injured for 7 months for one of their starting players. But I'm gonna play on that, and I'm gonna try and save some money. I can't not in that situation, can I? He's on 7,500. No, never mind. Chavez was on £7,500 a week. Sorry, Ernesto. I was robbing you. I thought for a minute that was Kefren Turam that was on £7,500 a week. You'd be a crucial player, my friend. 3-year deal, perfectly fine by me. £122 million release clause, perfectly fine by me. Salary-wise, would you accept 60? With a signing bonus of 500 grand? Yes. Yes, he would. All right. Well, an unexpected, enforced change to our midfield, but a good one. I think a good one. Time will tell, but it's an upgrade. Ernesto Chavez plus 24 million Sorry, Lazio. We've kind of pulled one over on you there. It's unfortunate for them, but I mean, it's not like I tried to exploit it by offering them him. They asked for him. So that's not on me. That's on them. That's their fault, not mine. I guess is how I'm going to choose to look at it. Oh, dearie me. They've not done themselves very many favours there. But to be fair, it's not like we're directly weakening a rival in our division either. So we're not actually going to, other than getting the player, reap any more benefits from that. So ultimately, I don't feel that bad about kind of cheating them a little bit out of that. So, well, that's the end of Chavez, unfortunately, but it is the birth of Kefren Turam. So, well, we played well enough against Betis offensively, but defensively, I could do with a little bit more work still. So, let's go and prove a point, keep a clean sheet in the next game, and get 3 points on the board. Very narrow formation again for Real Sociedad. Agustin Rossi in goal. Sugawara, McKenna, Giallo and McMillan. They're back four. Torrientes, Guevara and Lopez still there. Three. Barrenechea sat behind Felipe Silva and Santiago Jimenez. Into the starting lineup goes Kefren Turam. I'm going to give Chilwell this game as well. And if he gets exposed again, then certainly Sergio Reguilon will go back into the starting lineup, and we will use Chile only in simulated games because of his higher rating. It wasn't obviously bad, Chile, but surely it's got to be more than just coincidence that all three of Betis's goals came down that left-hand side. We will find out if it was coincidence or not throughout the course of the next couple of fixtures that we play, but he'll start this one, and hopefully we can get a decent performance out of him on this occasion and be a bit more defensively solid. I don't want to throw away another 2-goal advantage. That goes without saying, really, doesn't it? Probably could have guessed that already. Well intercepted. Bula does well. Needed to get out of his feet quickly. Sule has Roberto there. Does just enough. We'll get out wide to Chile. Looking for Elise. You can see the run that's being made. Just a case of can we find him? The answer is yes. Now can check. Find the ball over the top to Matthias Sule. He can. He's going to give a pen, isn't he? Oh, I'm not sure about that one. I'd need to see a replay. McMillan is a new player for them. I bring it down. McMillan doesn't get to the ball at that second touch. It's probably harsh, but I think he kicked as Sule gets to the ball first. I think he kicks through him. Roberto then from the spot to give us a 1-0 lead. Buries it. We can't take anything for granted after the way that the last game went, but to be in front again through Roberto feels nice. Sule will come forward with it. Really, really sharp turn from him there. Milan Cech out to Elise. He's got some good dribbling of his own. Michael Elise will lay that into Kefren Turam. Here comes Elise. Oh, it's a nice ball by Kefren. Please be onside. He is, Matthias Sule. Oh, but he can't find the goal or the pass. We'll stay at 1-0. Oh, Elise's just run straight into Torrientes. They're delaying with the pass. It's poor from them. We'll look to make them pay for it. Chile finds Roberto through that gap, looking for Sule again, but McMillan on it this time to read the ball. Not caught out once more. Roberto, Bula, he's caught on it as well. Ball changing hands quite frequently in the midfield in this game so far, but we have that 1-goal advantage from the spot. That might be the only advantage we get to take in this game because of how tight it's been. Check though, looking for Roberto. He's never going to miss that, was he? At the double! Captain Fantastic. 2 games, 3 goals for Roberto. Should we have expected anything less? Nice tackle by Bula. Tanganga. Not seen Tanganga be involved that much. In actual fact, that's the first time I can recall actually seeing him in possession. So quiet has Tanganga been so far in the game and a half we've played. Bula to Matthias Sule. How's your shooting from distance? Really not bad at all on that example. Little bit more power, little bit more height, and the keeper might have been caught out by that. Kefren Turam, that's why we bought him. because he's 6'4" and the physicality adds to the attributes that he has. But I couldn't quite direct the header on target. The 2-0 lead intact, and we do look like the only team like scoring the next goal. Giallo went into overdrive there and just gassed away from everybody. Here's Baranachea. Antea does really well. That's why, even at 80 rated, he's still my go-to right back. Matthias Sule made some changes off the bench here. Castellanos is on. Reguilon back in a Malaga shirt on a field of play again. And Jakob Brun-Larsen brought in up top as well. Played in here, Jakob Brun-Larsen, and will square it. And Castellanos buries. He's on the pitch for 5 minutes. He's bagged a goal. With the 3 strikers we have, I think we're going to be fine in front of goal this season. Jakob Brun-Larsen proving that he can still do a job as well. Good dribbling, decent pass, and, well, devilish finish from Valentin Castellanos in the 78th minute. Makes it 3-0. And hopefully we can get a clean sheet now for Tanganga at the back. And for Garrido in goal as well. Well, in Pantea again. Continually proving, time and time again it seems, why we haven't replaced him yet. We will get 3 points on the board today. Obviously disappointed with the result against Betis, especially the manner in which it came about. But we've bounced back from it. I think we've proved in this one that, yes, we are going to be good enough in the major tournaments this season to challenge 4 trophies on 3 fronts. Whether that be La Liga, the Copa del Rey, or the Champions League. Or maybe Europa League if we finish 3rd in our group, because we don't yet know what our group's going to look like. They didn't have a single shot. That was pure dominance from the Malaga side, and we've not done that, I don't think, ever with Malaga so far in our 3-year or 2 and a bit year tenure. Let's be realistic. I don't think Turan was a letdown at all. We just won a game by 3-0. So, I think you need to just let off the gas a little bit with the criticisms. Thank you. It's not just about one player. How is that negative to Roberto? Like, no, it's not about one player. It's a team game, but that's not negative on Roberto. That's just because we've got a good team. 3rd in the league after 2. Only 2 sides. Only 2 sides with a 100% record. There is still some other games to be played, but only Espanyol and Cadiz can get 9 points. Or sorry, 6 points. So, despite losing the first game, there isn't a massive worry about that. So we'll head to transfer deadline day now. I don't have any further plans. We have saved some money for January, £59 million in fact. So that should do us very nicely when the time comes. And we can make decisions then. Atalanta and, is that Monza? Bidding for Vitic, but he's not going anywhere. We don't have massively high-rated players in any position, but we're now at the 84-85 stage rather than the 80-81 stage, pushing 83. So I'm delighted with how things are going with the building of the squad. Now we just need to continually put in results like the one we just did as opposed to the one we started with. Matches rescheduled says to me that there are some Champions League games that have just been drawn. Oh, I accidentally advanced an hour on deadline day before we got the chance to have a look at anything. Let's have a look at those emails though. Matches rescheduled. Come on then. Who is in the group? Our Champions League group is Liverpool. Jesus, what an episode tomorrow. Liverpool, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Bloody hell. Liverpool, Galatasaray and Steaua Bucharest. That is a... Wow. I mean, you've got to be confident. That is a winnable group. That is a winnable group. It's absolutely a progressible group. Kingsley Coman has just gone from Inter to Liverpool at 33 years of age. So intrigued to see how good he may or subsequently may not be by this stage in his career. Vitic rumoured to maybe be going to Hertha Berlin, but I'm going to turn down their £37.4 million bid. Thank you very much. I think we can challenge in that Champions League group, don't you? No massive deals on deadline day so far. Lianco transfer bid, which continually we will turn down. Vitic's been a popular boy. Barcelona coming in with 31.4, but we're only 6 points behind them last season. So I'm not going to jump and be like, oh, it's Barca, sell him, because it's deadline day. And we're not going to just let our second best centre-back go on deadline day to a team that effectively are direct rivals this year. Ashraf Hakimi has gone to Villarreal for £74.3 million, which is an intriguing one. That will be very good for them. Kind of takes away a right-back option for us if we were wanting to improve in that position in January. But at the minute, I'm still pretty comfortable where we are. From Deportivo Cali to Real Madrid, potentially, Juan Jose Mina. Who that? I have no idea who that is. Gonzalo Guedes from Bayern moves on. That's the third biggest deal so far at 32 years of age to Hellas Verona. Now Tommaso Pobega has left Liverpool. Well, that's good news for us, because it means that Liverpool are going to be weaker when we come up against them in the Champions League tomorrow. So I don't mind that at all. Basile Jean has left Mallorca as well, but it was the other guy, wasn't it? It was the other striker at Mallorca that was our frustration whenever we played them. Hamed Junior Traore moves within Europe, but that doesn't affect us at the moment. Another Vitic bid, this time from Fulham. It's getting a lot of interest, Vitic. And Zidane Sertdemir is the last deal to go through. Mendes, a bid for Joe Mendes again. But Joe Mendes will go if we replace Pantea, but at the minute I'm not looking to replace Pantea. So, deadline day went as follows. Diogo Dalot's gone to Nottingham Forest, which is an intriguing one as well. Deadline day, I will rephrase, that entire window went as follows. Biggest deals in it. Nejevic to PSG, 147.2. Also to PSG, Christian Pulisic, 99.2. Splashing the pennies. Malero to Bayern. Adeyemi's left to go to Spurs, so that's where some of the money came from. That's basically covered the signing of Christian Pulisic a week later. Plojek has gone to Brighton. Gelhardt has come to Celta Vigo. Now, we know how good he is from our time with England, so I'm going to be wary of him moving forward. Now, Fagioli has gone to Manchester United from Brighton. Kovalenko to Leipzig. Vieira has left Real Madrid, which is good news for us. Torre to Leverkusen. Hakimi to Villarreal, we were aware of. Ilic to Mallorca. He's 86 rated. Jesus Christ. Dane Scarlett has left Almeria. That will weaken them. Chukwuemeka at 86 rated. Carney Chukwuemeka. Wow. Did not expect that. At Nantes, which is where, of course, Pellistri has ended up. Conor Gallagher to Wolves. He's left Manchester City. Lacroix to Roma. Lazetic to Chelsea from Getafe. That will weaken them for our league campaign this year. Koch, 83 rated. Nico Koch, 65.8 to Girona. That will strengthen them this year. Mallorca have let Fournier go as well. So they've sold both Basile Jean and Fournier at Mallorca. Well, I'm glad to see the back of him, to say the least. £65.7 million. Thank God for that. He scored against me, didn't he, Fournier? Perone to Everton. We did look at Perone for centre mid, but he's just moved to Everton. Hoffman, don't know his rating. I'll scout him. Union, but it's 61.7 million. Austrian goalkeeper? I can't think of any Austrian goalkeepers off the top of my head that would be a regen of. Or was Kubel Austrian? Maybe. Sule, sorry to me, of course. Lazaro we saw as well. Ugarte, Botman, Pabega, Kubel confirmed a Swiss by my live chat. So who that Austrian goalkeeper could be a potential regen of, I don't know. Might not even be a regen. Might just be a youth player that has come through the system and turns out is pretty damn good. Declan Rice has gone to Inter. Pellistri to Nantes, as we did, actually, not just we saw. Guendouzi to Atalanta, leaves Villarreal, so we'll weaken them. A lot of big sides in it. They've signed Liam Delap at Mallorca to replace one of the two outgoing strikers. And 84 rated, he'll certainly be decent, certainly. So they're not as weak as they were. Varela leaves Liverpool to go to Monza, so they further weaken themselves. Alcaraz to Stuttgart is again good news for us. Brennan Johnson from Liverpool to Real Madrid is good news and bad news. Good news because he's left Liverpool. Bad news because he's gone to Real Madrid. But he shouldn't start for Real Madrid, so it's probably good news for us regardless. Koenig leaving Mallorca as well. Devin Wrench leaving Real Madrid pleases us, but Patrick Vimmer coming to Bilbao will make them more difficult to play against. So after 2 games, only 3 teams have maximum points. So the defeat to Betis isn't as disappointing as it was in the moment. We're still only 5th. So absolutely fine with that. Tomorrow will be a bit more difficult though, won't it? We will sim... Why am I looking at that one? I want calendar, thank you. We will sim Cadiz, Getafe and Osasuna, and we will play the big boys tomorrow. Bernabeu, Anfield, and then we welcome Barcelona to La Rosaleda, a big triple header tomorrow. Don't miss it. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying this GloryHunter save. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more content, of course. And you certainly don't want to miss tomorrow's episode. And I'll see you then.